Back when I posted my first speed painting and storytelling video on this channel, before I even had like 100 subs I think, to my surprise, Popcross Studios, who was one of my main inspirations for making this channel, commented on that video. And I'll be honest, I geeked out over it a little bit. And since then I've gotten to talk and work with him and a bunch of other cool artists that I don't think I would have met otherwise. And because of that, me, Dempsey J Illustrations, Knight of Arcane, and Nerd Comics Inc. are all making videos to not only thank Popcross, but to congratulate him as well, as he got to do something really cool recently with the crew behind the game My Singing Monsters. But I won't spoil that here, you'll have to check out his video to find out what it is. But what you can watch in the meantime is My Singing Monsters Venomized. Let's create some chaos! Hello everyone and welcome to MSM Park, where your smiles are music to our ears. My name is Katie and I'll be taking you around to see some of the lovely monsters this park has to offer. And today is a super special day because the park is finally open again after a 4-month shutdown caused by unforeseen circumstances. Katie lowered the mic to her side as a small group of 15 eager park guests huddled around to hear what she had to say, hoping that she would elaborate on what the circumstances were. Much to their satisfaction, she raised the microphone again and continued. You see, several months ago we got an unexpected visit from a gooey alien, and when it came into contact with any of the monsters we have, it latched and bonded onto them. Park scientists have determined that there is a symbiotic relationship between the two creatures when bonded. Unfortunately, the monsters were initially more aggressive when the two were bonded and had a strong aversion to sound, something that, as you can imagine, would be a major issue here. Luckily, the creatures turned out to be very civil, and we were able to calm them down without any issues. And they've agreed to be part of our exhibits. Any questions? No? Good. Let's move on. Our first exhibit that we have today is our most popular one. Today, we're looking at the sugar bush that is bonded to one of these gooey symbiotes. As you can see, there are large areas of the sugar bush that are untouched by the symbiote. This is due to a combination of multiple reasons. We've found out that in addition to certain sounds, the symbiotes also aren't a huge fan of high temperatures. Unfortunately, in order to keep the sugar bush happy and healthy, its habitat must be warm. On top of that, as the sugar bush plays its mandolin, its gooey friend constantly shifts and writhes around. The higher the pitch of the sound, the more aggregated and violent our gooey friend becomes. As a compromise, the sugar bush has, begrudgingly, agreed to only play soft, low to- Oh. It would appear that the symbiote has caused the sugar bush to break its mandolin in half. Okay, who's ready to see the next exhibit? That's right, everything is alright. Please head to the left and keep moving. Katie waited as the tour group moved past her. Once they were out of earshot, she pulled out a walkie-talkie from her belt and spoke into it. We have a code red in the gooey sugar bush exhibit. So sorry about that, folks. Like I said, these gooey creatures are quite civil, so there's no need to worry about anything. Shall we continue our tour? Moving to the next exhibit, we have another very special monster goop combination to show you. This one only comes out during the summertime, so you all chose a really good day to come to the park. Here, we have the Whizbang. Normally, this creature is composed of all sorts of vibrant colors of the rainbow, but its pairing with the goo creature has since muted them. However, if you look really closely, you'll be able to see darker, less saturated versions of the colors on the tentacles protruding from its head. Oh, and you're in for a show! If you would all please put on the sunglasses you were provided at the beginning of the tour and turn your full attention to the Whizbang, you'll all see something very special. Katie and the tourist all put on a pair of flimsy paper sunglasses and looked directly at the Whizbang, waiting. For a while, nothing happened. Any minute now. They all focused long and hard on the Whizbang. Nothing would dare take their concentration away from the monster. Usually, the Whizbang will periodically explode into a dazzling array of fireworks, but perhaps this little guy isn't up for it today. As you saw with the sugar bush, the symbiotes have a tendency to mess with some of the natural abilities of our musical creatures, but it's all in the name of a symbiotic relationship between the monsters and the goo, even if they do tend to get a little aggressive. As she finished relaying the rehearsed speech that she was told to tell any potentially disappointed guest, one of the members of the group raised their hand to get her attention. Hi, yes, real quick. Is it natural for the bars to be bending like that? His voice was calm, yet the matter he spoke of was anything but. Katie turned to look at the Whizbang, and back at the guest, confused. What do you mean? The Whizbang is sitting relatively peaceful in its habitat. The guest turned around and pointed past the Whizbang exhibit, where the group had previously come from. Almost all the other venomized creatures were trying to pry their way out of the exhibits. Not the Whizbang, I meant the other creatures back that way. They seem to be trying to escape, a few being pretty successful. No, and it may be in our best interest to start running. Like now. Katie and the tour group bolted past the rest of the escaping creatures, with Katie pointing out facts about each one as they passed. That one that we just passed in the T-Rocks and his stomach has claimed the toes of many guests and employees at this park. And this one trying to grab us is the Bon Appetit. Originally there was a smaller monster that would play music on the larger one's ribs, but as you can see is now a relatively civil alien creature. Hey lady, instead of telling us useless factoids, how about you tell us how to get away from these things? Yes, there's the door at the end of the exhibit that leads to a passageway that'll take us to the main reception area far away from the Goo Monsters exhibit. Keep moving everyone, we're almost there. Everyone stopped short as a large orange creature holding a guitar blocked their path. Its back was to them, and from what they could see, it didn't appear to be hostile. Not to worry everyone, this here is just a normal riff. Nothing gooey or aggressive about it. Katie walked up to the monster and reached out her hand towards it. Though, now that I think about it, it is rather far from the rift habitat. I wonder how it got here! The creature spread its wings, knocking Katie off her feet and sending her walkie-talkie and presentation mic sliding across the ground towards the tour group. It turned to face them, revealing a completely blank, sinister-looking eye. Its body was covered in inky black veins, and its mouth was lined with razor-sharp teeth. It lifted up one of its legs and picked up Katie with its foot. That makes more sense. This right here is called a riff, and as you can see, it likes to pick things up with its feet, inspect them, and, more often than not, eat them. It may not seem like it, but this is indeed a gooey creature combination. So if anyone could make any loud sounds right now, that would be great. The tourists just watched in horror, each one of them too frozen with fear to even move, let alone take action. Meanwhile, Katie was trying to reach for the riff's guitar, hoping that a sound from that would cause the monster to drop her. Instead, the monster noticed Katie's movements. A tentacle shot from its back then slammed the guitar against the wall, smashing it into pieces. Katie's arm went limp as she saw her only chance for survival shattered in front of her. Literally. She closed her eyes, expecting to soon feel the teeth of the aggravated monster sink into her flesh, when all of a sudden, a shrill, piercing noise rang out through the park. The rift dropped Katie, and all the escaped monsters recoiled in pain. Katie fell to the ground and looked back at the group of tourists, where she saw one of them holding her presenter's mic up to a nearby loudspeaker. The feedback was just the noise that was needed to stun the escaping monsters. Katie picked herself up off the ground and motioned for the group to follow her. They quickly made their way towards the exit, more than happy to get away from the rampaging monsters and out of the park for good. I gotta say, it feels great to get back into the feel of venomizing things. It's been a little while since we've done that. I think these came out pretty good, especially the Whizbang. It's by far my favorite. So I'm glad that I was able to get this out to congratulate Popcross for the awesome My Singing Monsters collab he got to do. And if you want to know more specifically what that is, check out the video here. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is KyngPin Creations, and I will see you all next time for the Community Recreations. Take care, everybody.